Think about the worst thing in your fridge right now. The leftover you forgot about 3 weeks ago. Your ancestors might have waited for it. 2 million years ago on the African savanna, a rotting carcass was not garbage, it was dinner. And the part they wanted most was not even the meat. It was locked inside the bone. This is what ancient humans actually ate. Almost none of it would pass a health inspection. At Olduvai Gorge in northern Tanzania, archaeologists found stone tools roughly 2 million years old. But the tools are not the important part. The bones found beside them are. Under magnification, those bones show two kinds of marks. Carnivore tooth marks where predators had stripped the flesh, and stone tool cut marks made after. The sequence suggests something brutal. Often predators ate first, humans came second. Your ancestors watched from a distance as lions and hyenas finished a kill. They read the body language of the predators. They judged the exact moment it was safe to move. Then they ran. They cracked the leftover bones open with rocks. The target was marrow. Bone marrow is one of the richest foods in nature. Hundreds of calories of pure fat sealed inside bone where fat could remain after the meat was gone. A human hand with a cobblestone cracked it in seconds. This was the original human meal. Not a hunt, not a harvest, a scavenge. And every scavenge was a gamble with death. Too early and you became part of the kill. Too late and vultures took everything. For hundreds of thousands of years before organized hunting, scavenging may have been one of the most important ways your ancestors survived. But it gets worse. They did not always find fresh kills. Sometimes the carcass had been dead for days. The flesh was soft, the smell was heavy. To a modern nose, it would be unbearable. But to your ancestors, rot was not a warning, it was a signal. If other animals had eaten from it and survived, the meat was probably safe enough. And they did not start with muscle, they started with organs. Liver, kidneys, stomach lining, brain. Organs spoil fastest, so they were taken first. The parts modern humans throw away were the most valuable parts of the animal. This was not desperation, this was strategy. And for a long time, it worked. But old meat and marrow were only part of the menu. In 2010, anthropologist Frank Marlowe published years of fieldwork with the Hadza people of northern Tanzania. The Hadza are among the last people on Earth who still live entirely by hunting and gathering. A single day of Hadza eating looks nothing like what most people imagine. Before sunrise, a woman leaves camp with a digging stick. She walks for over an hour to a patch of hard ground where she knows a particular tuber grows underneath. She digs for 20 minutes to pull out a single root. She eats it raw on the walk back. That is breakfast. By mid-morning, children crack baobab fruit on flat rocks and pick wild berries from thorn bushes. By midday, a man has climbed a baobab tree to reach a wild beehive guarded by thousands of angry bees. The honey inside is the richest food in their world. About 15% of all Hadza calories come from wild honey. In the afternoon, someone finds a termite mound. Termites, beetle larvae, and grubs. Not emergency food, everyday food. By evening, if the hunt went well, there is meat. If not, the tubers, fruit, honey, and insects are enough. The Hadza diet is not primitive. It is wider, stranger, and grosser than anything on a supermarket shelf. For over 2 million years, every calorie your ancestors consumed came from digging, climbing, cracking, running, or waiting. Nothing was easy, nothing was guaranteed. And for most of human history, this was completely normal. Then something changed everything. Around 1 million years ago, your ancestors learned to control fire. Some of the earliest strong evidence comes from Wonderwork Cave in South Africa. Fire did not just keep predators away. It transformed food. In 2009, Richard Wrangham argued in his book Catching Fire that cooking unlocked far more energy from the same food. Take a wild tuber. Eat it raw and your body extracts maybe half the energy. Roast it in coals and you get almost all of it. Same food, twice the fuel. Wrangham argued this helped explain why the human gut shrank and why more energy could be redirected to a much larger organ, the brain. The human brain uses about 20% of the body's energy at rest. No other primate comes close. Without cooking, that brain may never have been possible. Fire did not just feed humans. It may have built them. But fire also sealed something inside you that you cannot turn off. Think about how your mouth reacts to sugar. The rush is instant. You did not learn it. You were born with it. The same is true for the smell of roasting fat. Your brain responds before you even decide to eat. In 1962, geneticist James Neal called this the thrifty genotype. For most of human evolution, food was uncertain and seasonal. The humans who survived were the ones whose bodies craved high-calorie food the hardest and stored energy the fastest. The ones who craved sugar found ripe fruit faster. The ones who craved fat ate more marrow. The ones who did not crave hard enough died more often and left fewer descendants. Over hundreds of thousands of generations, the craving was sharpened. It was passed forward through every bloodline that survived. It reached you. It is running right now. And then the world flipped. In the last 200 years, sugar, fat, and salt became unlimited. Your body did not update. It is still running a program built for scarcity in a world of excess. In 2013, Daniel Lieberman called this evolutionary mismatch. The environment changed faster than your biology could follow. Your craving for something sweet at midnight is not a lack of willpower. It is a 2-million-year-old alarm designed for a world where sweetness meant survival. That world is gone. The alarm is still ringing. The Hadza still live with this system intact. Their sugar comes from honey guarded by angry bees. Their fat comes from marrow sealed inside bone. Every calorie they eat costs effort and sometimes pain. In your world, calories cost almost nothing, and your ancient body cannot tell the difference. Open your fridge. Look at what is inside. Every item on every shelf would have taken your ancestors an entire day to find. You reached it in 3 seconds. Your body still treats that as a miracle. That is why you eat when you are not hungry. That is why the bag never feels finished. That is why sugar still tastes like survival. You are not broken. You are running the oldest software your species ever wrote. It just does not know the fridge is full.